What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me, Liam. Today, we are diving into episode 5 of one of my favorite shows. Season 3 has been really good so far, I think. But if you don't know what we're talking about already, we're talking about Invincible. But before we dive in, just want to say thank you to you guys again. We are very, very close to 20,000 subscribers, and that is no small feat, and that is all thanks to you guys tuning in, commenting, subscribing, and helping us share the word of all these amazing shows and just kind of talking about it. And so I just want to say thank you guys. And if you're tuning in for the first time and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so. We drop multiple videos a week where we discuss different types of shows. We have Invincible, we have Paradise, we have Reacher we're about to start. So there's a lot of different things we have, as well as other ones on playlists you could check out. And because of so many of you requested it, we set up a Patreon so you can get behind the scenes content, early drops, shout outs on the channel, and it's more of the G-Spot. So for as little as a cup of coffee, if you want to become a member and help us with the production of these videos and creating awesome stuff for you guys, then you can go ahead and check that link out in the description. But with all that out of the way, let's dive into the episode.
Yeah. So it was just like one big prison break, it felt like.
There was a lot centered around, you know, the backstory of Duplicate and Multiplex, yeah. But I think in this episode, we got to see the return of Titan, obviously, which is a character that we've seen in previous seasons who, you know, tricked our main character, Mark, and got his ass handed to him by Battle Beast for the first time.
Yeah, which the one big boss dude, the robot thing.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and I sent that space cat after him.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And that space cat is no joke, as you know, one of my favorite characters from the yeah, I think it was cool to kind of, we got a break from, you know, the Viltrumites and Angstrom Levy and kind of, you know, all the other stuff, and got a little bit more of a recap on some of our other villains that we've seen in the past, right? We got to see why everyone feared, I forget his name, Lao, turned into a big ass dragon. A mortal dragon, apparently, too. Some sort of spiritual.
I want my wishes for collecting all the Dragon Balls.
That's what you thought when you saw that?
Yes.
I mean, definitely was in my mind. Very, very similar design, except with the exception of the face. The face was, you know, very unique for the series, but yes, the body.
And that was a curse.
Another one, yeah. It's yeah. Like I said, what I like about this series is that it's not like Marvel or X-Men, where like everyone's just got like a mutation, or everyone, you know, it was in some sort of cosmic accident, or, you know, there's like an origin story for each of them, which I guess Marvel does have. I guess DC does too. So I retract my former statement, but I do like that it's very diverse.
So they talked a bit about government experimentation.
Yeah, I don't remember that from the book, so I'm thinking that's something that's in the series. Again, my memory's not the best, but I'm pretty sure that was new, them being experimented on. Yeah.
And Eve had some weird armor thing that she summoned up for like half a second.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah, Eve's powers are really cool. Like when she starts to really figure them, because she can control things at like an atomic level, create, manipulate. Like she's pretty much a god when she realizes. I don't think she realizes it yet, but we as a viewer, if you've seen the Adam Eve like single episode, that solo episode of her origin story.
Yeah, that was annoying because I wanted more.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to get more, but not of her. We're supposed to get one for like Rex. We're supposed to get one for Kate and Multiplex. Like we're supposed to get more backstories, but in individual episodes like that.
And she's an entrepreneurial genius, apparently.
Well, I love that they're bringing Invincible Inc. forward from the comics, because that's 100% something that they establish and is how they make money in the actual like comic book series.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. So they're essentially mercenaries at that point then.
Yeah, superheroes for hire. Yeah. Yep.
Mercenaries.
Yep.
Maybe without the negative connotation, I guess, that mercenaries typically have. But started the business, and then they got their first client, the prison, right?
Yeah, reluctantly. I don't think she wanted that, but yeah, she called him. Yep, called him in.
Then we have the Titan dude who had his daughter almost injured.
She was threatened for sure, and he did not like that.
No.
But Machine Head, see, it was a really interesting episode because there was multiple layers of deception going on. Because you had Titan deceiving Invincible, who was also the like deceiving Machine Head. the Machine Head was deceiving all of them. Like it was like this multiple levels of deception going on, and worked out for Titan and ultimately, and for Machine Head in the end.
I was getting very Fisk vibes from Titan.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Like Kingpin.
Yeah.
Total Kingpin vibes. Yeah, like especially because he's all about his city.
Yeah.
And he's like the big guy. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can get that connection.
That's what I saw in that. I did enjoy the scene where he's running from Mark in the sewer, and he's like, dude, I can fly.
Hey, come on, you're gonna run away. I can fly. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he outsmarted him, right?
Yeah, came out, and it was like a flash mob type thing, and threw in the little racist comment, what, we all look alike?
Yeah, which I think was a further nod to the fact that, like, yeah, he is a criminal and he is a villain and he does do nefarious things, but his neighborhood is better for it, and the people do love him, right? Because they're willing to not only, like, give him free coffee and his daughter free drink earlier in the episode, but actually, like, stage a, like, almost town-wide, like, deception for him. So that was cool.
So towards the end, when the mob boss with the jaw, the one that
I think it's Lau.
died,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the other guy was summoning another dragon that went into him.
Yeah.
The other guy's dragon, and he just gave it up for him, or what? What was that about?
Yeah, so I don't think the dragon dies. I think the dragon just, like, so when he dies, the dragon just leaves his body.
Wasn't that dragon a different color though?
I don't think so.
I thought it was a different color.
I mean, it was a spirit dragon at the time, but when he first like releases himself into the dragon, he starts to turn and then becomes the dragon. So I think it's just part of like the spirit of the dragon. It's the same dragon.
Okay,
And it's
that's
just
what I was asking.
and it's just being put back into the vessel, which I think the spirit then heals his body, right?
Okay.
And the guy, the big guy, is just more like he doesn't have his own dragon.
He's a tall version of Oddjob.
What a great character from 007, the Oddjob. He was my favorite in GoldenEye for sure.
Same.
Yeah.
Mostly because he was a smaller hit bomb.
Hard to hit.
Yep. We had a rule. All right, nobody can use Oddjob. I think everyone had that rule though, didn't
Yeah. Each character was. We're gonna go on a tangent. Never mind.
Yeah. So we had the prison break, we got Titan, we got some stuff from Multipole because they wanted Multipole to get out so he could have looted, right? Wanted him out because I guess he's his best assassin or something like that.
I really enjoyed the sibling conversation because I think Paul was kind of right. There really is no difference between what the government in this series does and what the criminals do. Like, both of them use superheroes as blunt weapons to murder and do what they need to do. And some of them say, for the greater good of the country, and this one's for the greater good of the money. But either way, it's like you're still doing the same thing. And Paul points that out to her, and I thought that was really interesting that they add that layer in there. Because there really is a fine line, a blunt instrument's a blunt instrument.
Yeah. And intention's a big piece of right and wrong. Oliver, when he's spying on Oliver after Oliver sneaks out with the bullies at the skate park or wherever they were, and he's observing him, he was genuinely terrified that Oliver was going to kill the bully.
Well,
Instead, he just pantses him.
Well, let's reflect on the last real conversation that he had with Oliver. Oliver almost and it was leading to you and many people in the comments thinking that he really is becoming a small Omni-Man. But because he mentioned that he doesn't care about humanity. And technically he's not human at all. He's just an alien on a human planet right now with his brother. And so
Purple Piccolo.
okay.
Sorry, the dragon thing got me stuck on Dragon Ball Z.
It's a great show. I mean, references are great. I just think that based on their last conversation, Mark had every reason to think that Oliver had no regard for human life, and that if he were to feel threatened or upset, that he would lash out violently without any restraint. And the restraint part is a huge thing for Mark, because he's been restraining himself his whole, ever since he's gotten his powers, he's been restraining himself because he's afraid of what happens when he goes too far. So I thought it was really cool to see. I really do think it's all Debbie, man. The effects of having this mother figure in his life who cares about him, who's willing to stand up to him, to give him what he wants, the freedom to be the superhero, to explore his powers, but also giving him structure and rules to go by. I think you're seeing that develop in him. And I believe that's a direct connection to why he only pants those kids and is out having fun and is just trying to be a kid instead of we believed he was doing, which was out like fighting crime and killing people because of it. Right.
And I think Mark is using Oliver as an excuse not to get the apartment with Eve.
He's scared, yeah, for sure. It's a big step, and there's a lot going on in both their lives right now. So I think she wanted to slow things down. He is also upset or scared to leave his mother, and what was going to happen if Oliver's all alone and sneaks out and he's not there, and all. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
The mother-son sex talk scene was hilarious to me as well.
He cleaned that house so fast.
He did.
Now I know what I got to do to my kids to get them to clean the house. Start having awkward conversations, so they want to get out of there.
And get that done. So do you think Multipole is going to reunite with his sister soon?
I think Multipole is a criminal. Will they unite as a team? No. Will they always be in this like forever tensioned battle? I think so.
Okay. And how do you think everything's going to play with the power dampening collars now?
So I think it's another tool that they can keep in mind to try to stop Viltrumites. But here's the thing. If Multipole is strong enough to break one, then anyone else that we've seen can do so too.
Yeah. What do you think Machine Head is going to do?
Just more crime. He's going to try and take over the cities. He's smart, right? So he's not going to mess around with like trying to mess with the superheroes. He's going to go back to like being the underlord and try like living a life of crime through like all the different other superpowered people on his team.
What about Titan's daughter? Do you think she's going to have a bigger role? Do you think she's going to have powers?
I don't think that we've seen the last of Titan or his daughter. I don't think her powers are going to be an issue. I think that there's going to be blowback from what we just saw. Obviously, the former leader of the Order that they think is dead is not dead. And so we're going to see blowback from that. And whether the daughter is collateral or whatever, they're going to have to lean on Invincible and maybe others to do something to save the daughter in the future. The daughter and all of that, that's written for the show. That's not from the comics. So I'm not spoiling anything if you guys still want to read the comics. I'm just predicting that that's going to be something just based on how people write. You know, a child is a huge emotional like linchpin that we can use inside of a character plot. And a lot of people do.
Gotcha. What did you think of the toys?
Which ones?
The toy Easter eggs that were in the episode. Sans dog.
Oh, when they're cleaning up.
Yeah, and the Cyclops toy for Alan.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different nods to superheroes from the actual series itself that are just toys, yes.
They had, what, War Woman 2 as Wonder Woman, and then they have, like, The Walking Dead referencing The Walking Dead as well.
Yeah, I thought, and let me know in the comments if you guys saw this, and maybe it wasn't, but this is what I think. One of the last toys he's holding actually holding it in his hand for quite a while. There's a character that has not been introduced yet that is like incredibly strong because of the armor that he wears. Almost like an Iron Man, but he didn't create this tech. The tech was found, he finds it, and he uses it. And the people who did create it find him and they're mad because he has it. And there's like a whole storyline and arc that goes to that, but he ends up keeping it because he's worthy, yada, 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 like a Green Lantern kind of thing. But I think that they were nodding to this particular character. And if you guys know who he is and you saw it too, drop it down in the comments and I'll comment with you guys.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fair.
We may or may not even see him in this series because he had his own comic book for a while, which means that there may be rights issues to get him.
Or spin off later.
Or that. Which, you're upset about the spinoff of Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I got no interest.
Gerard Way is directly involved now, like directly involved in the creation of this show. And so that gets me excited.
You think that's going to make a difference?
If they give him some creative control, yes. We found out yesterday that they're creating a spin-off of Umbrella Academy, which they absolutely ruined in the 4th season. You can check out our full review of that.
Yeah, that kind of fucked it for me.
But they're making a Sparrow Academy spin-off of the characters that they introduce later. And so I'm interested to see it. See what they do with it. Anyway, so this episode closed the loop on some characters that we hadn't seen this season yet. We still have a couple more we have to see. We've had Doc Seismic already. Now we've had Titan. We've had Machine Head. We finally got to see like a couple more of the council, the order they call them, that sit around the table that are like the crime bosses. We got to see that Oliver isn't all evil, maybe not necessarily as will he become that once he actually gets around his dad, or like once he gets introduced to actual Viltrumite, because as we all know, it is no spoiler, there is a big Viltrumite on his way to fight Mark. Nessa told him last season, Cecil mentioned it in episode 1, there's a big danger and it's a Viltrumite. We know that. It's on there, he's on his way. But will that change the way Oliver acts? We don't know yet either.
Every once in a while, I keep getting this dread in me for this series. Like, please do not have a 3-episode long fight like they did in Dragon Ball.
We will not have anything like Dragon Ball in this. Like, promise you that.
Good. That's the one thing I hated about Dragon Ball was the 3-episode fights and shit.
Yeah, talk for a whole episode, punch once, and then the episode's over. Yeah. I mean, it gave a lot of hype. I couldn't say I didn't watch every episode, but yeah. Going back and watching it like a second time, it is very drawn out. I thought it was a great episode. As someone who knows more of the backstories because of, comics and then also YouTube, I thought this was a great episode because we got a lot of cool stuff that like nodded to that. And I think they've been doing a great job of really kind of sticking to a lot of what is in the comics, with the exception of rights issues and things like that.
I'm glad I got you to let me know that they're doing right by that part anyway, since you read all that stuff.
And I honestly think that's one of the reasons why Invincible is doing so well. Because the animation's not top notch, right? Like, there's a lot of scenes where if you watch in this episode when they're having pancakes, Eve's like, her knife is going like this over the top of the pancake instead of like this. Like, the animation's way wonky. And clearly they spend all of their money on the fight scenes and all their money on like specific parts of the show. And then other pieces definitely fall off. And I think the reason it still has such a cult following is, one, yeah, it is really gory and there's aspects to it that are unlike most things out there, but it stays true to the comic, and that's something that a lot of people who have read the comics love.
Nice.
So with that, really appreciate you guys being here all the way to the end of this particular review. As always, if you made it all the way to the end and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so below. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And if you enjoyed this, we have a playlist you could check out right here of all of our Invincible stuff, as well as all the things we've actually reviewed on Prime. They got a lot of goodies. And there's something else you might love right above my head, but we'll see you guys on those videos. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.